Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome
This
back,
is day
everyone.
2
This
of
is
the
day
100 Days
2
of
of
UI
the 100
Design
Days of
Challenge,
UI Design
where
Challenge, where
Welcome back, everyone. This
Welcome
is
back,
day 2
everyone.
of
This
the
is day
100 Days
2
of UI
of the
Design
100 Days of
Challenge
UI
with
Design
Veera, and
Challenge
today
with Veera.
is
And
really,
today
really special.
is really, really
And when I
special.
say really
And
special,
when I
I
say
mean
really
really,
special,
really
I mean
special.
really, really
I am
special.
excited,
I
and
am
this is going
excited,
to be
and
fun.
this is going to be
Today we're
fun.
going to
Today
do a
we're going
different kind
to
of
do a
project
different kind of
than the
project
ones we
than the
do on
ones
this
we
channel.
do
So
on this channel. So
let me know where you're
let
watching
me know
from,
where you're
and we
watching
can
from,
begin.
and we can begin. So getting back to
So
this
getting back to this
UI, this is a
UI,
really,
this
really
is a
special
really,
build
really
because
special
today we
build
are
because
going to
today
be
we are
making
going
this
to be making
super
this
duper cool
super duper
Dragon
cool
World UI
Dragon
design.
World
It
UI
has a
design.
lot
It
of
has
really
a lot of
smooth,
really
really
smooth,
cool
really cool
features that I am so very
I
proud
am
of.
so very
It
proud
has
of.
this
It
really
has
cool,
this really
really
cool,
smooth
really
image
smooth
slider,
image slider,
and
and
it does
it
look
does
amazing. I mean,
look
look at it
amazing.
revolve.
Look at it revolve.
The image in the front,
The image in the front
highlights, and the images in the back
automatically
become dull in
comparison.
comparison. Also,
we have
really nice
this
title
really
text
nice
animation,
title
you
text
guys. This
animation, you
is
guys. This
insane.
is
Check out the
insane. Check
font.
out the
By the way,
font.
this is
By the way, this is
a really nice,
a
really
really
cool
nice,
custom
really cool
font that
custom
we did,
font that we
and
did,
the blobs
and
on
the
the
blobs
sides
on the sides
also morph into different shapes and different colors every single time. Change their colors, and not just a single color. It is a shaded mix of 2 or more colors. They morph into a gradient. How cool is that? Speaking of blobs, these shapes up top have the color white,
also
but with
morph into
reduced
different
opacity,
shapes
which means
and
they're
different
see-through.
colors every
So
single
you can
time.
see through everything that's going
Change
on
their colors, and not
behind
just a single color. It is
the
a shaded
blob
mix
itself.
of 2 or more
Also,
colors.
we have
They
this
morph
really
into
cool
a gradient.
text
How cool
font.
is
And
that?
finally, last but not
Speaking
least,
of
the
blobs,
background
these shapes
of the
up
page
top
itself
have
changes every single
the
time.
color white, but with
the
reduced
image
opacity,
changes.
which means they're see-through.
Okay,
so
so
you can see
without
through
wasting
everything
any
that's
further
going
time,
on
let's just get
behind
started. The very first thing you
the
need to do
blob
is
itself.
open up Figma.
Also, we have this really cool text font,
If you
and finally,
don't,
last but
simply
not
go
the
to
least, the
Google.
background of the page itself changes every single time the image changes. Okay, so without
type
wasting
Figma
any further time, let's
download
just get started. The very
downloads,
first thing you
open
need
up.
to do is
You can
open
click
up
on Mac
Figma.
or
If
OS,
you do have
Mac or
Figma,
Windows, depending on where you're
great.
at.
If you
Download the
don't,
desktop app,
go to Google.
and we can get started. The very first thing you need to do when you start is click on
and type
the new design file
figma.com/download.
So
The
this is a
downloads
really simple thing you need to do.
You
Open a new design file
a new
basically,
design basically,
and now we can start making
and now we
actual
can start
UI
making
itself, which
our
is the most
actual
exciting
UI
part.
itself, which
Click
is
on
the
F
most exciting
to
part.
create a new frame.
Click on F
Since this is
to
a
create a
desktop
new
UI,
frame.
you want to
Since
have
this is a
a
desktop
wide
UI,
frame,
you want to
so
have
it is
a
longer than
wide
it is
frame,
tall.
which so it is longer than it is
Usually when
tall.
you're making desktop UIs,
Usually
you
when
want
you're
to have
making
1920 by
desktop
1080
UIs, you
width
want
and
to have
height.
1920 by
So we're
1080
going to
width and height.
change the width and
So
height
we're going to change
for this
the
design
width
to
and
be
height
1920 by
for this
1080.
design to be 1920 by 1080.
And now that we have our first frame, we need to start adding the images.
we need to start adding the
The
images.
for this specific
the
UI
images
design
for this
are
specific
in a
UI
folder
design
inside of the
are in a
description
folder inside
for
of the
this
description for this
Welcome back everyone, this is day 2 of the
Welcome
100
back
days of
everyone,
UI
this
design
is day
challenge
2 of the
with
100 days of
Veera,
UI
and
design
today
challenge
we
with
are
Veera,
doing a
and
really
today
special
we
UI
are
design.
doing a
I am
really
really
special
excited
UI
for this, and when I
design.
say really,
I am really excited for this, and when I say
excited
really,
for
I
this.
mean really,
This
really
is going
excited
to be
for this.
fun and a different
This is
kind of
going to be
project.
fun
So we're
and a
doing
different kind of
dragon
project. So we're doing a
fantasy
dragon
world UI design.
fantasy
The demo
world
of
UI
which
design.
I'm going to
The
share
demo
with
of
you in
which
just a bit.
I'm going to share with you in
Meanwhile,
just a
let's
bit.
get
Meanwhile,
started.
let's get started.
The UI design that we're making today has a
The
lot
UI
of
design that we're
really
making
cool
today
features
has
that
a lot of
I'm
really
so
smooth, really
excited
cool
to share
features
with
that
you.
I'm so
And this is the UI that we're
UI
going
that
to
we're
be
going to be
building today.
building today.
Today we're doing this really cool Dragon World UI
They were
design which
doing
has
this
a lot
really,
of
really
smooth
cool
cool features that
Dragon World
we'll get
UI
to
design,
in just
which
a
has a
bit.
lot of.
So
So let's get started.
The very first thing that you see is this super nice image slider which
which
automatically changes according
the
to
image that you select.
Also,
The image that you select. Also, the color of the background changes, and these blobs morph into a beautiful
blob with a different color,
different blob
complete
with a
gradient
different color,
depending on
a complete
which image
gradient
you click
depending
on.
on
Also, the image
which
that's
image
on
you click
top
on.
gets
Also, the image
highlighted,
that's on top
and
gets
the ones at the
highlighted,
bottom
and the ones at the bottom
dull down.
automatically dull
Also,
down.
this text animation, you guys, it looks
Also, this
so
text animation,
beautiful
you guys.
because it morphs automatically and it scrolls without you even clicking, and the bottom text also looks really cool. So without
As it looks
any
so
delays,
beautiful
let's get started.
because it morphs automatically and it scrolls without you even clicking.
So the very first thing you need to do
And
is
the
have
bottom
Figma
text
installed
also
in
looks
your
really cool.
device.
So
If you
without
don't have it yet,
any
go to
delays,
figma.com
let's get started.
/downloads, install it as the desktop app depending on, and click on Mac OS or Windows installers depending on which device you're at. Now we can get started finally with the design. The
First thing you need to do is have
inside
Figma
of Figma,
installed
you're
in
going
your
to click on
device.
the
If you don't have it yet,
plus
go to
icon on the
figma.com
top bar
/downloads,
and click on
install
the new
it
design file
as
to
the
get
desktop app
started.
depending on, and click on Mac OS or Windows installers depending on which
So the very
device
first
you're
thing
at.
you need to do while
Now we
making
can
this
get
UI
started
is
finally with
to
the
have a
design.
frame. So
Inside of
frame is
Figma,
the
you want to
actual
click
page
on the
which everything goes.
plus icon on
The
the
way you
top
create a
bar
frame in
and click
Figma
on the
is
new
to
design
click
file
on
to get
F,
started.
and since this is a desktop kind of design where it is more
the very first
wider
thing
than
you
it
need
is
to do
tall,
while
you
making
want to
this
have
UI is
1920 by
to have
1080
a
width and
frame.
height
So
inside of the frame.
the frame is the actual page on which everything goes. The way
So
you create a
this
frame in
becomes
Figma
our
is to click
vertical
on F, and
UI
since this is a
first page
desktop
or frame.
kind of design where it is
Next,
more
we
wider
want to
than it
have
is tall,
images that
you want to
we'll
have
be using for this one.
1920 by
So
1080
the
width and height
images
inside
for
of the
this
frame.
specific design can be found at the
So
link
this
in the
becomes
description.
our
So in
vertical
the description of this video is a
UI
link for
first page
the
or
different
frame.
images you can download
Next,
them, as
we
well
want
as
to have
a
images
text
that
file
we'll be
which
using
has
for
the
this one.
different names
So
and
the
descriptions
images
of the different
for this
characters that we're
specific
going to be
design
building with this UI today.
can be found
And once you download those images,
at
you
the
will
link
find
in the description.
these
So
three
in the
images.
description of this
So
video is a
the way
link
we're importing
for
these images
the
is with
different
Figma
images. You can
Control
download
Shift
them
F,
as
okay.
well as
Control
a
Shift K is
text
the
file
simple
which has the
shorthand
different
for
names
importing
and
images in
descriptions
Figma.
of the different characters that we're going to be building with this UI today. And once you download
Simply
those
click on
images,
Control
you
Shift
will
K
find
or go to the top bar.
these three images.
Just under
So
the rectangle, you're
the
going to
way
find
we're
the
importing
place
these
image
images
button. Click
is
on
with
place
on
image button,
Control
and that's
Shift
going to
F,
give you
okay.
your
Control Shift
images.
K is the simple
I'm
shorthand for
simply going to go in the
importing
folder
images
and
in Figma.
import my images. You can click on place all in Figma to
Simply
place
click
all
on
of your
Control
images,
Shift K
and
or go
inside
to
of the
top
folder
bar,
that's in the
just under
description you will
rectangle, you're going to
find
find
these
the
three
place
images.
image button.
Now
Click on
the
the
way we
place image
start
button,
with
and
this
that's
UI
going to
design
give
is
you
we'll take the
your
first image,
images.
drag it inside.
I'm simply going to go in the folder and import my images.
and shift it
You can
slightly
click on
towards the
place
left.
all
Now
in
we'll repeat
Figma
this
to
with
place
the
all
other
of
two
your
images
images,
as well.
and
I'll take
inside
the
of the
second
folder
image,
that's in
put
the
it
description, you
behind
will
the first
find
image.
these
So
three
you have to make
images.
sure that
Now
both of
the
these
way we
images
start
are
with this
inside
UI
of
design
frame
is
1.
we'll
If they
take
are
the first
not,
image,
you're going
drag
to
it
take them
inside,
from the outside and drag them inside like so. Now when we've
and
imported our
shift it
second image
slightly towards the
inside the
left.
first frame
Now
as
we'll
well, you're
repeat
going
this
to
with the other two
right
images as
click
well.
and
I'll
send
take
it
the
to the
second
back.
image,
So you
put
want
it
the first
behind
image
the
to
first
be in
image.
front
So
of
you
the
have to make sure
first
that
frame.
both of these images are
Now we're going to
inside
repeat
of
this
frame 1.
with
If they
the
are not,
second
you're going
and
to
third
take
images
them
as well. We're going to
from
put
the
them
outside
behind
and
everything.
drag them inside like so. Now when we've imported our second image
And now
inside
that
the
we've
first
sent
frame as
them
well,
to
you're
the
going
back,
to
this
right click
already
and
starts
send it to the
look
back.
a lot
So
like
you want the
the
first
image that
image
we
to be
started
in the
with.
front of the
Now we want to
first
change
frame.
the color of
Now we're
this
going to repeat this
to
with
be
the
a
second
little bit
and
darker.
third images as
So
well. We're going to put them behind everything.
we'll start with the color fill and try to
And now
find
that
the
we've
best
sent them to the
possible
back,
colors that
this
go with this
already
specific image.
starts to
Black
look a lot
may
like
not be the
the
first
image that we
or the
started
best
with.
choice
Now
for
we
this
want
one
to change the color
because
of this
it just
to be
dulls
a
everything
little
out. So
bit
you
darker.
don't have
So
any space to
we'll start
have any
with the
sort
color
of
fill
variety
and
or color
try
at
to
all. So I'm just going to
find
take the
the
blue
best
from
possible
behind this
colors
design
that go with this
and
specific
bring this
image.
down to
Black
its darkest
may
shade
not be the
possible,
first or the
not
best choice
black.
for this one because
And there
it
we
just
have our
dulls everything out. So you don't have
background
any
color. This does
space
look
to
nice.
have
Okay,
any sort of
next
variety
we
or
are
color
going
at all.
to
So I'm just going to take the blue
add
from
the name
behind
of the
this
current
design
dragon.
and bring this down
So
to
the
its
names
darkest
and
shade
the
possible,
descriptions of
not
the current
black.
dragon and all of the other dragons in
And
fact
there we
can be
have
found in
our
the name and description file in the
background
description.
color. This
So
does
in the
look nice.
description link you have a folder
Okay,
from where we
next
got these three
we are
images
going to
and a separate
add the
file
name of
for
the
the names and
current
descriptions.
dragon.
It's a text file.
So the
super
names
simple, you can
and the
download
descriptions
it
of the
and
current
copy-paste the
dragon
text.
and all of the
So
other dragons in fact
I'm going
can be
to
found in
get
the name and description
my
file
name and
in the
description
description.
file
So
from
in the description
the
link you have a
description,
folder from
and
where
I'm
we
going to
got
take
these three
all
images
of the text
and
content inside it, copy it,
separate file for the names and
and I'm going to
descriptions. It's a
paste it
text file, super simple. You can download it
over here.
and copy paste the text.
So here we
I'm
have the
going to
first dragon's name. I'm going to copy
my
it
name and description file from
and paste
the
it.
link in the description, and I'm going to take all of the
Change
text
the font color
content
to be
inside
white
it, copy it,
and take
and I'm
also
going to paste
change
it
the font family. So the font family that we're going to be
over
using
here.
for this one is Aromatic Dream Demo. This is a
So
really
here we
nice
have the
font
first
family,
dragon's
especially
name. I'm
at
going to
larger
copy
sizes.
it
This is a custom font, so you
and
are going to have
paste
to
it.
download it. But a really simple alternative if
Change
you
the font
can't
color to be
find
white
it in your
and
specific device, if
also
it shows up
change
question
the
marks so
font
that
family.
you can't find the
So the font family
same
that
font
we're going to
file
be using for this
is
one
Playfair
is
Display. This is
Aromatic
also a really
Dream Demo.
nice,
This
really
is a
simple
really nice
font
font family,
which you can
especially
use
at larger sizes.
for your designs.
This is a
Anyways,
custom
we are going to be using Aromatic Dream Demo for this. We are going to increase the font size to 256. This is a really large font. You don't usually see this, but for this specific design, we are going to make it slightly larger than most average text seen online. So the font that we're going to be using for this one is Aromatic Dream Demo.
And we also want to reduce the line height. So the height between different lines
needs to be reduced for this one because it just looks more compact and nicer that way. As long as it's around 98, you should be fine. It can be 96, it can be 99, but it needs to be somewhere around 98. I'm going to keep it at 98 just to be precise. Okay, the next thing we need to do is get the description text, copy it, and paste it inside of our file. This description text is also going to have the white font color, and the font for this one is also going to be quite fancy. It's called Great Vibes because it does have great vibes. And I'm going to make the font size slightly larger, maybe take it up to 22. So this already does look quite good. Okay, now that we have both our title and description, we're going to start with the other details. The other details being blobs, the ones that morph into really cool shapes when you click on the next screen in the final demo. Before we do that, I'm going to reposition the text that we already have slightly, just so we can make more space for the different blobs for this one. And also adjust the box of the description text to have fixed size, not auto width and auto height. You want to have a fixed size because this is a UI design and you want to make things fit into the right spaces, not let them run away wherever they want. So this lets your text run free in the width, and this lets your text run free in the height. So you can change and experiment around with it if you want, but for this one I need to keep it to have fixed width and height. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, of course, is the blobs. The blobs are super cool and they're super simple to make. So we'll just go to the top, click on P or pen tool and start making our blobs. So these are just random shapes that you make when you drag them around with the pen tool. And change its fill to have a color. The very first thing you need to do is change the color of the blob itself. We'll change it to have a gradient and change its angle as well. We want the colors of the blob to be from inside the image, because as long as the colors outside of an image and inside of an image match, it works to your advantage. I'll take the light grey and change it to be the pink of the flowers, and I will take the dark grey and change it to the red from the flowers. Make these colors slightly brighter, not a lot, just slightly brighter, so it just becomes more visually appealing. These blobs have started to uplift our designs so much, and we'll also increase its size and make another blob at the bottom. So notice in the beginning the text was just really plainly just standing there, and now it just looks like it has a certain lift to it. It looks like it is here to make an impression. We will repeat this with the other blob as well. And now we'll also change its color to be from the actual image that we're using. So this blob will have a blue-green color. We'll take both of those colors from inside the image, add a fill, change the fill to be a gradient, and align it so that it's at least in a similar direction to where the previous gradient was. So the previous gradient was here and it was going down, and we'll do the same direction for the second blob as well. So this blob is going to go from green to blue, so we will take those colors from inside of our image. We'll take the green from here, and we'll take the blue from the dragon's face. We'll change the colors just so we have a little more highlight wherever we're putting them. And now we'll right click and send it to back. Remember, if the image is outside of your frame, you won't be able to send it to the back properly, so you have to drag it to be inside the frame, and then right click and then send it to the back. Alright. So with this, we are almost done, 90% done with the first frame. Now we're going to have to replicate it in the second and third frames as well. So one of the few things that we need to take care of is shadows and depths while making this UI. So the very first thing that I need to take care of while making sure my depths are on point is the contrast between your text and your background. So the contrast between this text and this background is fine, but the contrast between these colors and my text may not be as fine as the background itself. So to change that, we are going to have to give it an effect of drop shadow. We'll add a blur, add a percentage of fill to the black, blur it out, and change both the x and y axis values to be 0. And now the text looks a lot more in front of the blob than it did before. So just for perspective, when we remove this drop shadow, we get just a really bland text in front of a bland color, and when we add the drop shadow, it actually looks really slightly like it's uplifted from the blob itself. Next, we are going to change the depth for these images. So right now all these images look like they are on the same plane, but what we want is we want the first image or the image that is selected to be right in front, and all the other images to at least feel like they're behind our first image. So we will change the opacity of the other two images to be a little bit darker. How we're going to do that is we're going to add another fill to our second image, the image that is not selected. We'll add a fill of black, which is 0000 in hex code, and change its opacity to be 20%, and make sure it is ahead of the previous image. So just for perspective, it could be behind, and then you won't find the difference because this fill is 100%, this fill is completely on top. But we'll take this black and we'll put it above our previous image just so we can see where it is at. We're going to repeat the same thing with the other image. Make sure the black fill is in front of our image, and that is how our first image is now in perspective the highest. This makes our first frame 95% complete. We just need to get one more detail correctly here, and that is the semi-opaque, semi-transparent blobs. So we did make two blobs before, but we also have to make two other ones which are semi-transparent. So we just take our pen tool, drag it out, make a simple shape, a really simple shape. You don't have to overthink this. Any shape will do. And add a fill of white, but you don't let it stay white. So you add a fill of FFFF, but you change its opacity, which can be found here, to be 55%. This does look semi-transparent, but it could go a little bit more than this. So we'll just take this slider and drag it and settle around maybe 22%. I want to add one more blob to this design, and that is going to be on the side of the image. So most of these blobs are on the side of the text to add a little bit more equality to what we're currently doing. I want to add a blob to the other side of the image as well. So we'll zoom it in just so we can get a little more clearer view of what we're doing. And simply drag and drop this wherever we like. This is just really simple random shapes from the pen tool. They don't have to be specific. There's nothing that we're going for specifically. Right now the blob is not visible. The reason for that is because it is behind all of our other images. So these images, as I said, are in front of the blob, which is why our blob is behind them, so it's not visible. So we'll take this, we'll drag it above all of our images because we want it to be visible. We will change its fill color to be white and change its opacity to be 22% like last time. It doesn't really matter how many percent exactly are visible for these two blobs, but they have to be the same because they are on the same edge of the same image. So as long as the number of opacity percentage matches for these two images, you should be fine. And with that, our first screen is done. We will take it, copy it and paste it twice because we want to duplicate it 2 different times, and add our previous text. This does look really nice. We'll take the title from the text file, the names and descriptions text file, which you can find in the description, and we'll change the text as well. If you like this video, make sure to click on the thumbs up button and subscribe. We'll come back every single day for 100 days of UI design challenge, and meanwhile I'll copy and paste this text inside of our frame. So if you want to change the text inside of a
of a specific, change the text values inside of a text frame, the first instinct is to just paste it like that. But what that does is it just makes the text just really dull and black and small. But we don't want that. We just want to have our text in the same style as the one we were previously doing. So just leave one specific alphabet, one first alphabet out and paste the other text. Now all of our other text is in the same font type as our first one, and remove the first alphabet after that. This simplifies our job really easily because you don't have to think about adding more text now. Just like that, we'll also copy and paste the other text for the description and replace the first word. This gives it the font style. And with that, we have the second text values inside of our design. Now we want to change the image to be the second one on top. So we'll just take this image, really simply send it to the back and add an opacity of 20% black in front of the first image, so it becomes dull. And we'll take the second image and remove its opacity of 20% black. So this image now is in front of everything else. Kiwi's voice is echoing. We'll have to change from the next stream onwards. I apologize for the voice cracking up a little bit. Anyways, we will have to continue with this specific image build. Hold on, let me try to fix the voice echo. Let's see if this fixes the echo issue. I don't think that fixed the echo issue at all. So we will have to change. Let's hope this fixes the echo issue. Alright, I don't think this echo issue is bound to be fixed anytime soon, but we will have to continue this stream. So sorry, Kiwi. We'll try to fix it next time. I'm so grateful that you're here and you're bearing with us. Anyways. Wow, this is really weird. So let's just get back to the UI design, the one you're here for. Apologies for that delay. And we'll start with the other screens as well. So inside the description you will find a file folder shorturl.at j8xwg, which is inside of our description. You'll just copy and paste it inside of your browser, download your text file and your images as we said. And now we have our text over here. So I'll just copy and paste it. That I did. And now I will have to change the blobs. So we changed our image. We made this one come out to the front. We changed our text. And now we have to change our blob colors. So these colors were from the previous image. And now we have to take new colors from our new image. So the two colors that seem really bright to me now are the orange and yellow for this one. I'll take the pink, change it to be orange from the image. And also I'll change. You know what? Let's just leave it like that. It looks really good now. I don't want to change it. I don't want to change it. Now I take the second blob from the bottom and change its colors to be blue and green from inside of this image. So you want the colors to be as close to the current image as possible. In fact, let's do yellow and green here because we didn't take yellow in the front because orange and red looked so good together. So we'll just take the yellow from this one and put green of the dragon inside of the other one. Next, we are going to sort of try to morph it into a better shade. This is quite difficult to do, but you will get there definitely. So this is a little more complex to do a lot of the times, but you want to put both of the colors as close to each other as you can. So you're right here we're taking a little light green and this one is going a little towards blue. I want it to be dark green like so, and maybe have some aspects of teal, blue green. Okay, so this already looks much better. I'll change the red because we didn't change it last time, just to be a darker shade of red, just so the image is popping. We did put an image shadow, drop shadow in front of the text, so it does look good now. Also, we have changed almost every aspect of this image other than the fact that these blobs need to change their shape. So if you remember from our first demo, these blobs have different shapes and when they morph, it looks beautiful. So we'll change the shape of the blobs to be just a little bit different, just so that everything just looks like it changed a little bit. Now this part is a little bit more complex because sometimes the results come out looking extremely wonky, which is not nice, but we need to change it just so that everything becomes nice and visible and hopefully not embarrassing. So we'll just try to change the shape as much as we can. This is quite tricky to do. Hopefully it fixes itself. Wow, voice fixed itself. This is great news. I will have to see what I changed. I'll go back to the stream later on and I'll see what I changed around 30-minute mark. This is amazing. Thank you for informing me, Kiwi. You're a good friend. Meanwhile, smash the like button if you're enjoying this stream. Thank you so much for joining. And we'll continue with our blobs. The blob looks really wonky now and I want to change this shape as much as possible, although it's just looking weird now, so I'm just going to leave it alone. For the second blob, I'm going to take a little bit more of a risk. Make it bigger. Make it smaller. That's the thing with streams, sometimes you just don't know what's happening, because if I open my stream on this device, then it'll echo back 100 times more because the mic is taking in, the mic is giving it out. So this
does look a little bit more completed. These are starting to look really big, really wonky, so we'll just drag them to change their shape, to adjust out their width and height a little bit more. This certainly looks a lot better. And now we're going to repeat the same process for our third image as well. Again, the blobs you get right with time. We'll copy our text. This text is from the descriptions file, and change the text. This is quite miraculous when the text changes itself. So the third one is Verdifier Sylvan Spirita. We'll copy it and we'll paste it right here. Just remove everything other than the first alphabet, because that's what gives your text its style, and remove all of the additional text. So I think this copied the description as well, which is not a good news. We'll just copy everything and remove it. The one thing I forgot in our last frame is we also need to change the background color of this page. So we'll change its fill to be somewhere around the dark brown. We'll take it and drag it, because dark brown is a color that looks good with green as well because of trees, and dark brown is a variation of orange, dark orange with
we'll take
black
it and drag it,
so
because dark brown is a color that looks
also
good with
and you don't
green as
realize
well,
when you change these shades to be of dark blue and dark brown, you don't realize what the difference is between them until you start looking through this semi-opaque blob. So this gives it a tint of white, and now it starts looking a lot more like brown, and this starts looking more like navy blue. So we'll get back to fixing our third one. We'll copy the description text, paste it. We'll take off everything other than the first alphabet, paste it here. Remove the first T, and we have the text content for third page. Now we are going to take these images, first and second one, and send them to the back. Remove any images that are not the third one, and in the third image you're going to remove the fill, which of the black with 20% opacity, which made it dark in the first place. Now we'll take our first image, send it behind the second image, just so that second image is also visible, and add a fill of 20% black. So both of these images are dull now, and the third image is up top. And we'll also change the opacity, the colors for the second blob. We'll take the orange from up top, take the red from here, change its color to be a little more different, and you know what, the last ones also had orange and red up top, so I don't want to do that immediately. Let's switch to yellow for this one. We'll get with yellow and we'll get it together with yellow, orange. This looks really good in itself. And we'll also get the green and blue and change the blue to be the teal from behind, and I'm going to remove the color in the middle, because that was just something that came with our previous gradient, but in this case it does not need to be there. We could change it to be just white, but that's just really light, so I'm just going to give it a little more yellow from the palette of the yellow itself. And with that we have our third color also ready. This looks slightly less flattering, but we're going to have to make do with what we got. Okay. So we finally have our two blobs ready. We'll just make this yellow a little more on the orange yellow side, just so everything ties well together. Maybe reduce its opacity. And with that our third image is also complete. Now is coming the time for the most amazing, most important, the funnest part of this whole build. Yes, I said funnest, I know it is not a real word, but this is going to be fun, the animation part. It is always so much fun. So before we do that, I'm going to change the color of the background to be a little more lively. We'll just take this color from behind the dragon and make it as dull as possible. You don't see the difference of changing the colors in the beginning, but
when you look at this semi-transparent blob, you start seeing that there is actually something going on differently. If you like what we're doing here, click on the thumbs up button, subscribe. We're really close to 100 subscribers. It would be great to reach 100 on the stream. We'll also celebrate that. But those things aside, now is the time to animate, the most fun part. We'll go to the prototype tab, my favorite tab of Figma, and click on interactions. So the first interaction you need to do is on click. So you want to make sure that when you go from this to this, the animation happens on click, not on doing something else. And add the navigate to command. So when you click, this is a really basic programmatic type of thing where you just click and it navigates to a different frame. So this frame is called frame 2. We'll navigate it to this one. And we want the animation type to be smart animate. Now this is really important because smart animate is the feature of Figma from where all animations stem. So all of these cool animations, UIs that you see online always comes from smart animate. And we are going to give it a quick animation type of 700 milliseconds. This works really well while morphing these blobs to the other blobs, which is really important. In fact, we need to change the shape of the blobs as well, and here begins my infamous struggle of changing blob shapes. This is really quite complicated. This is harder than it looks, in my defense. We'll just change the shape of the blob a little bit more, just so we can have a feel of the blobs changing their shape with the animation. Okay. This finally works, and now we're going to just duplicate that same thing which we did for the first and second ones with the third page as well. So once this is the good thing with Figma, and it has happened quite recently. When you do something in the prototype tab, when you design an interaction and go to another screen and click on it once again, the same exact settings are copied from the previous time you set those settings. And we're going to repeat this for the last frame to get it to the first one. People forget this, but it is really important. Next we are going to prototype it, start it. This is going to give us a sense of what we're working with. This is not completely done, but it is 80%, 90% there. Okay, so this is our beautiful UI that we just built. It is quite pretty, and I am a little bit proud of it, but we are still lacking a couple of features that we did in the beginning. We'll just go behind everything. So the feature that we are lacking right now is the text just stays where it is. It doesn't animate, so it just stays in a box. The cool feature that we need to implement is we need to get this text scrolling automatically, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But before we do, did you see these blobs? They look really fun, like slime. These blobs just animate and change their colors automatically, which is super fun. Okay, so I am noticing this blob is... And you know what, it's fine. It does work well. And also this image slider works really cool way, and the images in the front brighten up immediately. Next we will do the text scroll effect. So this text scroll effect is a different one from what we usually see online. What we're going to do is we're going to copy Control C all of our different image texts. All of our different texts. Just select them all, copy them, paste them, put them outside of everything, and we're going to take our first text and put it just under the second one, and we're going to put our third text under the first and second ones. Give them some distance between each other,
so when you select all of them, this gives you the number which is the difference between each text layer. This is the height difference between the text layers, so you can drag and drop it, which lets you change the width. And for this one we're going to have to get back to the design tab. So over here you will see the difference between the different images, and we're going to frame everything. Control F, frame. This is the framed version of all of our texts, and now comes the really important part. You want to give it the clip content feature. So the clip content basically crops frames of text or images, which is really important for this. So we'll just change the height of our frame now. And because we've clicked on clip content, half of our text, hold on, let me make the page darker, half of our text which is behind, beyond the scope of 1185 pixels of height,
clip content,
now gets hidden because we've clicked on clip content. If we hadn't clicked on clip content, it would have just stayed where it was. So we'll just click on clip content, and that makes our text
the scope of 1185 pixels of
I'm
height.
going to take this
Now gets
and
hidden
I'm going
because
to
we've clicked on
replace our original text, the one we had previously.
If we hadn't
with
clicked
this one.
on
So
clicked
we'll
on
take
clip
this new
content,
frame
it
and
would
we'll
have just
put it
shown
exactly
stayed where it was.
where it was.
So we'll just
Might
click
want
on
to
clip
use
content,
the arrow
and
keys
that
just to
makes
get
our
everything
text
exactly
visible.
right.
I'm going to take this,
It works.
and I'm
And
going
I'm
to
going to take this
replace
text
our
layer
original
down at the
text,
bottom.
the one we had previously, with this one. So we'll take this new frame and we'll just put it exactly
the other one
where it was.
and
You might
delete it.
want to use your arrow keys
This
just to get
Is
everything
now our new
exactly
frame.
right.
So we'll just copy this frame
Put it above. It works.
and go
And
back
I'm going to take this text layer
and paste
down
it
at the bottom.
exactly
delete it.
where it was. So if you want to paste
Oh no,
a
I
specific
deleted the wrong
frame
thing.
exactly
I'll
where
just
it was
take the other
positioned
one
in its previous
and
frame,
delete
just
it.
make sure it is inside of
This
its parent frame.
is
Copy
now
it
our
right
new
here.
frame. So we'll just
Go
copy
to the
this
next
frame
frame and without
and go
touching
back
anything inside of
and
the
paste
frame,
it
click on the
exactly
frame,
where
click
it was.
on Control
So if
V,
you want to
everything
paste
gets
a
pasted
specific
as
frame
it is.
exactly
And now
where
we
it was
have to
positioned
remove
in its
our
previous frame, just
texts
make
which
sure
are
it is
behind
inside
this.
of
So
its
we'll
parent
just
frame,
take this,
copy it right here, go to the next frame,
Inferno,
and without
Flamingo,
touching
Dragon,
anything
and
inside of the frame, click on the frame,
take
click
the
on
other one,
Control V, everything
remove
gets
its title
pasted
as well.
as it
And
is.
now
And now we
we
want to remove our
get
texts
the right
which are
title for
behind
this.
this.
So
So we'll just
Azure
this,
Defleur Mysticus is not this character's name.
the Inferno,
This one had a different name, so we want to
Draconis,
make that
and
name
remove
visible.
it.
We'll just
Take
remove
the other one,
the clip content
remove
setting
its
for a
title
bit,
as well.
just so we know
And
what we're
now
working with.
we want to get the
Move
right
the page
title for this.
brightness
So
up.
Azure Defleur Mysticus is not this character's
Now
name.
make sure
This
you're
one
not
had a
selecting
different
the
name,
frame.
so we want
Select
to make
everything
that
inside of the
name
frame
visible. We'll just
and
remove
click
the
on
clip
the arrow
content
key,
setting for a
the
bit,
top
just so we
arrow
know
key.
what we're working with.
and that will make
We'll
sure
get the
everything
pageness
that you've
up.
selected, these three, shift up automatically.
Now make sure you're not selecting the frame.
Just
Select
so
everything
we know what
inside
we're
the
working
frame
with, we'll just take this frame, click
and
on clip content,
click
that
on the arrow
drops
key,
things out
the top
exactly
arrow
the way
key,
they will look. So I'm going to take it,
and that will make sure
take everything, put it above,
everything above
and
and start moving things with our arrow keys.
This is a slow process, but in the end it comes out
Yes,
really
but
rewarding,
it
really
comes
pretty.
out really.
Just click on
Just
the
click on the
up key if you like what
key
we're doing
if
here.
you like what we're doing here.
Click on thumbs up, subscribe.
thumbs up,
We're really close to 100 subscribers.
Right?
It would be
We're
nice to
getting close
celebrate
100
in this stream.
subscribers.
And with
would be
that,
nice
we
to
have
celebrate
cropped
in this
out
stream.
our second title.
And with that, we
Now we're going to repeat this for the third one as well.
cropped out our second title. Now we're going to repeat this
Grab
for the
everything
third one
inside
as
of the
well.
frame other than the frame. Try to shift
Just
it with the arrow key.
Grab everything inside of the frame
This is
other
going
than
to
the
take
frame.
slightly longer than
Try
your
to shift
usual
it with the
clicking
arrow
from
key.
a mouse and dragging. But
This is going
many times when you're doing this with your mouse, it just makes things look really misaligned, wonky, and
slightly longer
weird, and we don't want
than
that.
your usual clicking from a mouse and dragging. But many times when
So
you're
just
doing
shift
this
this
with
up.
your mouse, it just makes things look really misaligned, wonky, and weird, and we don't want that.
Yes, Kiwi, the dragon images do look like they're overlapping. In fact, we'll
just shift
fix
this
them
up.
slightly because they still look like they're overlapping, you're right. But that is the point of this effect. This is a very, very intentional effect. So you want
Yes,
the user
Kiwi,
to know that there is a
these
choice here. Because the user
Dragon images
needs
do
to know that
look
you
like
have
they're
three different
overlapping.
images.
In fact,
and the only
we'll
way to
fix
navigate
them
them
slightly because they
is to
still
have a
look like
choice.
they're overlapping.
In
You're
case
right.
these still
But
look a little bit overlapped,
That
which they do,
is
I
the point
completely
of this
agree with
effect.
you.
This is a very, very
I'm going to
intentional
fix
effect.
them.
So
So
you
now
want
that
the
we've
user to
fixed
know
the
that
text,
there is
we'll
a
just
choice here. Because
make
the
our
user
current image, the one
needs
that's
to know that you
selected,
have three different images,
be
and the only way
more
to navigate
highlighted. So the
them
way we're going to do
is
that
have
is we're going to
choice.
take
In
a stroke,
case
increase
these
it. So
still look a
this
little
is
bit overlapped, which
completely
they do. I
improvised.
completely agree
I'm
with
coming
you.
with this
I'm
on
going to fix
spot,
them.
on
So
the
now
spot,
that fix the
but
text,
it is
we'll just
quite necessary.
make our current
So
image,
just
the one that's
increase its
selected,
stroke, change
to
it to
be
white.
more highlighted. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to take a stroke, increase it. So this is completely
Increase its
improvised.
stroke again. I
I'm
think it
coming
was
with this
60 in the previous
on
time, so I'm going to
spot,
keep
on
it
the spot,
at
but it is
60.
quite necessary. So we'll just
And
increase
make
its
it white again.
stroke, change it to white.
Maybe just to make sure it's lifted above, I'll also give this a drop shadow. Make sure the Y is quite
Increase
high in
its
number
width
here,
again.
because you
I think
want
it was
the
16
other
the previous time, so I'm going to
surrounding
keep it
images
at
to know.
16.
Give it a spread just so you know that the
And
image
make
is
it white
higher than everything else.
Maybe just to make sure it's lifted above, I'll also give this a drop shadow.
And
make
now
sure
I
the
want to
Y
copy the
is
same
quite
effect
high
of
in
the drop
number here
shadow
because you
to
want
my
the
other images. So I'm going to do that in a really
images to
cool
know.
trick.
Give it a
I'm going
spread
to
just
go
so you know
up
that
to
the
these 4
image
dots,
is higher than
click
everything else.
on the plus icon inside of these effect styles,
and now I
create
want
a
to
new
copy the
effect,
same effect
new
of the drop shadow to my other images. So I'm going to do that in a really cool trick. I'm going to go
it is echoing a little bit. We will have
is
to
going
fix
a
that
little bit.
issue.
We will have to fix
Next
issue.
stream, every single day I come live at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time or 2:30 p.m. GMT Greenwich Mean Time, and we go live for 100 different days, 100 days of UI design. So we will have, this is day 2 and we're doing a really cool dragon slider. It does have an echo issue. I was made aware of that.
I know it is echoing.
We'll have to fix it tomorrow. Come
Back
back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and the echo issue will be fixed, hopefully.
Wow, we have spammers now. Nice.
We'll fix the echo issue. Anyways, we have copied the...
I can't do anything about the echo issue about... I'm sorry.
I'll take care of it tomorrow, I promise. Anyways, we got our image in front here to have a really cool effect. We'll give this image also that really cool effect, and we'll give our other image also a really cool effect. Again, I'm sorry guys about the echo. You will have to come back tomorrow, see the echo issue fixed, hear the sound of my magical voice in this 100 days of UI design stream, and hopefully the echo issue will be completely fixed. Anyways, this is now our super cool UI design. This selects really well, and you see that there is an option to select different images. I am really proud with the way this turned out. You know what, we'll give this... I want to make it public and publish it and have a party about it, but I'm going to give you guys the option to suggest any changes that you'd like to see, anything in the live chat, and after we're done with that, we'll just go ahead and publish it. The best part. Fahim says it's okay, and Kiwi says it looks totally brilliant. Thank you, Fahim. Thank you, Kiwi. You guys are really kind. Thank you for sticking around. And now I'm going to do the ultimate power move. Make it public. Share it to anyone. Anyone can view. And I'll copy the link. Copy the prototype link, hopefully, and paste it in our live chat. Have to go to the chat. Paste it. And when you go to this now, you can see our actual UI design, and everyone who sees it, I think will be visible over here. So just click on the link, and you can also test it out, try it yourself, and make sure to try it with your own Figma, with your own styles, and post it anywhere you want on social media with the hashtag 100 days of UI design with Veera. We have someone also watching this UI design live with us. We also have Fahim, I believe. This is awesome. This is completely awesome. This is one of my coolest effects I've ever built ever, and I was so proud of it in the beginning. And now I'm finally getting to share this with you all. It is so awesome. We are going to repeat this stream. So this is the second day, and we're going to repeat this 98 times over again. So every single day I will be here at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time or 2:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, whichever you're closer to, whichever you're positioned at. And I hate to leave the stream, you guys. I hate to say goodbye, but we finally built a design we're really proud of. I'll see you again tomorrow, and goodbye. Bye, Kiwi. Bye, Fahim. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Indian